All right, so I have spent a lot of years in working on music, um, studying, the masters, the senseis, the people who were ahead of me, studying sound. I spent a lot of these years developing certain other skills in music, and one of those skills I feel like I've developed that I'm still in the process of mastering. Excuse me, but I have gotten pretty down pat is, excuse me, I just had breakfast recently. One of the skills I've kind of developed and learned is how to kind of mimic effects. Um, can't do it necessarily with every effect possible, but I found a way to kind of mimic certain effects for certain things. And so what it does is it helps me in the process of trying to figure out which song, or when I'm working on a song, or working on the music to a song, it kind of helps me figure out what I'm going to add to a song. So in the process of working on a beat or working on a melody or something like that, sometimes it's just kind of a natural thing for me at this point, where I may just come up with a regular melody, a regular rhythm, and I might not think of any particular effects for it. It's just the rhythm. And then in the process of working on it, what I'm saying, the process of working on the rhythm, like replaying it and different things of that nature, then I might add effects. I might add a reverb. I might add a delay or something like that. And then sometimes in the process of just kind of, humming a melody or working on something, it'll just naturally come out because I've worked on it so long and so often. And so what it does is, for me it at least gives me enough of an idea to my ear of what this particular melody would sound like if I added that particular effect to it, or maybe an effect in general, to where it's something kind of like in the ballpark. And if it's in the ballpark, then it's like, okay, maybe this particular effect might not work that I've practiced with my voice, but maybe I'll sit there and get something similar to it, or tweak it a little bit for it to feel like this or that, or to at least kind of feel better about what I'm about to add. So prime example, I've shared this beat. It's been a while since I've shared it and added it, but so in working on this beat right here, oh Lord, I forgot this thing does that, and I'm glad it didn't lock up. And anyway, in listening to this beat today, I'm sitting here listening. I'm trying to see if there's anything I want to add to it. I came up with a melody, and it's probably a pretty well-known melody. You've probably heard something similar to it in a variety of other songs over the years. But, still, I've heard I heard a melody that I felt would fit. So in the process of doing it, I just start humming it. And then naturally, because I've done this practice for so long, I'll hum it, and then I'll start mimicking a flange effect. And it's really weird. So it's weird, but it's a good weird, because it's, like I said, some people, if you beatbox, you kind of get an idea of pattern, and it helps you kind of create your structure for song. Well, it's the same thing in a different way with the effects. It kind of helps you structure the song. It helps you get an idea of whether or not this would be a good effect to add, or this was a good idea, or maybe you should just take it out. You get a bit of I don't want to say a cheat code, but you get a little bit of a preview before you even have to add something like this to your session. And you can save on processing power, or if you're using a board, you can save on having to even tweak it or add that type of idea, because you already kind of have it vocally to throw in. So in my particular case, like I said, so that's the beat. Obviously, that's the song that I've had it for almost 2 years, and we've added a couple things already, but it's just one of those things that's there, and it's kind of gotten to a point where you're not sure structurally if you're gonna add or take out or whatever. So in the process of me doing this, I come up with this melody, and I'll stop it, and it goes. So I came up with that melody, right? Sounds pretty good. Like, okay, let's see if we can fit it in here with this. I have to change the tone up, obviously, because my tone might be a little bit too high for this, but something in the ballpark. So I'm like, okay, all right. See what I'm saying? So, okay, the melody sounds cool. Now, because I've spent so many years practicing, from using my keyboards, going to school for this, having heard a flange or a wah-wah or whatever the case is, I've gotten so used to practicing trying to mimic that sound. And not just from school and from practicing from playing it, but from hearing it on different CDs, hearing it on a bunch of Neptunes production, Timbaland production, hearing it with Quick or, you know, Just Blaze or whoever. You hear it so much as a person who is in production and deals with sound. I hear it so much that it's gotten to the point now where even just in practicing, even when I'm like struggling to make something, the next thing you know, I'll mess around and be practicing trying to mimic the effect. So now that same melody where it goes, now when I practice it with a flange, just from sheer practice. And the same with the wah wah. See what I'm saying? Just the sheer practice of it. So, little interesting tidbit. I felt like in the process of practicing this over and over again, I felt like it would be kind of cool to share for 2 seconds. But that's something I just kind of do. And so now I'll just kind of add it, you know, for practice with this. And like I said, just because I'm practicing it vocally this way, I'll obviously fix the tone and everything for it, the tuning for it to fit the current melody and the current beat as it is. But just to get an idea of how it's supposed to sound or how it sounds when I do it, that's how it works. So, just prime example. Simple, but it's simple now because I've spent so many years practicing to do that. So now the goal is, now that I've done that, to find the right sound to even add that melody and then to add the flange to it and try to get it to sound as close to what it is I just did vocally and to make it fit with the song. So